Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to Rangers Radio. Joining myself, Robert, on tonight's show is three legends, Allbear, AK, and the Bridgeman. Evening, Allbear. How you doing?
Evening, guys. How are yous? Keep well.
I'm good, mate. I'm good. AK, welcome. How are you?
Good evening, Rob, Allbear, the Bridgeman, the Techie team, and everybody that's listening.
Bridgeman, how are you?
I'm okay, pal. Thank you very much. Looking forward to tonight with the actually, is it the three? No, I was going to say the three oldies, the two oldies and a younger. Let's put it that way. Just a joke. Just a joke.
The experts in The Apprentice.
The experts have got we'll call them experienced. The experienced. That's about it. Anyway, can I just say a good evening to the techie boys in the background, and of course to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world. Good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
Yes, of course. Good to have the three of you on. Of course, always look forward to the discussions that we've got tonight. Obviously, building up towards Sunday, Allbear. And it's almost deja vu, mate, because it's the same opponents at the same stadium, and this time we want a better result.
Absolutely, mate. That's what we're all looking for. Completely different game, right enough. It's not be the same game as it was last week. I think people have got under the illusion it's all just going to pan at the same time, and we just need to have a better second half. It's not going to be like that at all, mate, because they're going to actually try and do better in the first half than they done last week. So they'll be working on stuff as well as we're working on stuff. So all you're hoping for is we've got the measure of them now. We've got the measure, and we know how to beat them, and we know what's coming. That's what I'm looking for, mate. No more, no less than that. But we're definitely wanting a win. There's no doubt about it. How we get it, I'm not particularly caring, but we want to win. And we just need to go for it this time as well. So let's hope we don't burn ourselves out, or whatever happened in that second half, it doesn't happen in the first half or the second half again. So you need to be prepared for anything that comes your way. That's why I'm looking at it. Danny Rowe said he's been working on things. I've been looking at things and what went wrong and what didn't go wrong and what went down. It didn't all go wrong. Everybody fell out their tree. I thought we get beat the way everybody was acting. You're saying we didn't get beat. In fact, we actually should have won. We should have a penalty kick right at the end that nobody wants to talk about. Strange enough, but aye, we want a better result this time. Definitely, we want the victory.
AK, Allbear's right. Although it's the same opponents, you're not expecting the same match at all, are you? Because it won't be played the same way. They'll certainly not approach the first half the way they did, and I don't expect us to approach the same way the first half. To be honest with you, hopefully we do, and I want it, but I don't think that will be the case. I think this one will be a lot more closely battled, mate, in the first half and the whole game in particular.
It's going to be one of the games, Rob. I mean, none of the two teams should be surprised with the other. We face each other that often every season, so it's no surprise to the players, the personnel, the managers, the supporters, just anybody that's involved in the game. But no two games seems to pan out the same way, regardless. It's just all in the day and who wants it most. It could be an official's decision. Allbear touched on it. We should have had a penalty there right at the end of the game, which we highlighted, but nobody else seems to spoke about. I thought our manager had a wee opportunity today to speak about that and why was it not looked at, but he chose not to. But you just hope it doesn't fall on that. But there's nothing between the teams. We've got the home advantage. Just let's go out there and make the best of it and get ourselves into the semi-final draw.
Brisbane, it's obviously as you always say, mate, the biggest game of the season. Every game, as we get close to the end of the season, becomes bigger. But this one in particular, after the result last week, as Albert said, it felt like a defeat. The reaction was almost like a defeat because we were obviously in the lead and we squandered a 2-goal advantage. But this one, to progress to a semi-final of a cup, that you thought at times back in October wasn't possible, but we're in a position now that we get in, we get through past them on Sunday. We're in a semi-final, mate. It's an opportunity once again.
Yeah, the way I look at it, and I'm not being funny, because just from experience of playing at half decent level, when you can play against a team like Celtic and overrun them in the first half the way we did, then those players should be really, really up. You know, that there's nothing about Celtic they fear. We played them there. We just ran them off the park in the first half, and that's what we should be thinking of. How can we extend that to take in the whole game? Then, to me, it's about getting the substitutes right. We only used 2 subs, and the opposition used about 7, and all the subs they could, which it tells us that they were better than us in managing their substitutes and pressing the team up and so on and so forth. And it gave them, shall we say, a wee bit better chance. We didn't, for some reason, use all the substitutes. So we need to do that. We know we can play them. We've already played them. And that, as Albert says, no 2 games are the same generally, you know. But we have to, in our mind, we have to think, well, we played them just last Sunday, and for goodness sake, we ran them into the ground in the first half. Far better team, scored 2 absolutely fabulous goals, and then we somehow or other gave them a ball too much, and we paid for it. And we can't do that again this week. So it's about whatever we did and whatever we do in the first half. We've got to do the, shall we say, try to do the same as we did last week in the first half. But again, Albert said that they're not going to be sitting there waiting to see what Rangers do. They're going to be getting tore into us. They didn't get tore into us that much in the first half last week, but they will do it this time. And it's just up to us to win the battles, particularly the first ball. We need to get in and win the first ball, and even when the second ball is good as well. And then from there you can make something happen. If you don't win the ball, you're not going to do anything.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. We'll also build up to it as we go on into the show. But what we'll do just now is we'll hear part 1 of Danny Röhl's interview this afternoon from the press conference. And I'm sure the questions will be about last week, what can be improved going into this week's game. So let's hear part 1 of Danny Röhl.
Danny, it's a fairly rare circumstance where you meet the same opponent in the space of a week in a different competition. What's that like to prepare for?
Yeah, you know what you get from the game. You look your own game back, what was good, what we have to improve, and then you prepare the next game.
How have you found that balance between trying to replicate what you did well last week and trying to fix the things that were not so good?
Yeah, this is my job, it's our job. I think we spoke about the good things, we spoke about things what we have to improve. The last training session was good, especially yesterday. Good intensity, good mindset, very focused. Today, yeah, we work on some details again, and then we have one more session, and then we go. We go with the belief, we go with the trust. I think this is very crucial, especially the 50 minutes. I think you know better than me. I don't know when was the last time that Rangers dominate a Celtic like this in the first 50 minutes, and I think this is the focus where we are and what we want to do over 90 minutes, of course, or 95, and if it's necessary, over 120 minutes. I think this is crucial.
You mentioned belief. Is there any danger that gets damaged, or it's harder to find that belief when the game ends the way it did last week?
No, not really. We are still in a race. Of course, we are disappointed after this late equalizer. We know that we have to improve, especially then, in the second half. But we know as well we had a big chance for the 3-0, and then we would not speak about this today. But football is football. It's about decision makings. It's about focus, what we can influence. And I see a group who's really ready to go again, and have also the belief that we can beat them.
Danny, when you first came in, there was many issues to solve, and it seems that you've checked some of those off in terms of clean sheets. You went a long run of clean sheets, but maybe the team wasn't scoring enough goals. you seem to have solved that in the last couple of weeks, but again the defensive issues have come back in. Does it feel that a bit like whack-a-mole when you save one, you sort one thing out, something else springs up somewhere else?
Yeah, this is the job as a manager. I think you always have to sort out all the problems. It's the best case. We look back to the conceded goals. I think we conceded too much at the moment. From the last, I think we conceded 16 all in all in the league since I'm here, and in the last 5 games 8. Yeah, this is too much, and this is also part what we have to improve. Then you look back against Livingston, the opponent has 3 touches in our box and 2 goals. When we look back to the situation where it comes to the pen on the weekend, we have 8 against 4 in our box, we have an overload, but we were not in the right position, and this is what we have to do better. We worked on this, and we will do. Yeah, and this is a part when you scored, I think, in 5 games, 14 goals. This is nearly average from 3. That should be enough to win all the games.
Can I just ask about Andrew Scovolson? There's been a wee bit of commentary on him this week. The club have obviously got an option to make that deal permanent in the summer, £8 million, we believe. Is that a deal that you're ready to push the button on as things stand, or does he still have to prove that that's a deal that should be done come the summer?
Yeah, I think the good thing is we have this option after the season. Then I have not to think about this now. We know and we saw in moments which parts he can help us, especially in the final third. I think he is also very tactical, intelligent. You see this, but and he will also agree. And we had this conversation that there's still more in, and this is what we try to bring it as soon as possible out of him.
Danny, in the days after the game, was it difficult for you to get your head round just what went wrong after that 50-minute mark? And have you already got a plan to make sure that doesn't happen again?
Yeah, I would lie when I say after this game you are happy and you're not disappointed. Of course, you think about what was right, what I could change, how I can help the group. And I think the biggest challenge in this game was that you feel 50 minutes, we can celebrate a win. Yeah, you feel this in the stadium. I think you feel it in on the stands. Everyone was convinced there's just one winner in this game. But everyone who knows football and who is part of this football knows games can change quick, and a 2-0 is always dangerous. I think when we look back to our away game, we had the same feeling. They felt maybe, we have them today, and then we scored, and then the change. I think it's important that under the direction that you have still everything under control. We missed at the end 5 minutes to come with a 2-1 through this game. And this is what we have to improve. And we spoke about this this week. We spoke about what we, how we have to handle some situations. It's in game management. There's also some parts from the tactical things. And the team who is 2-1 down has nothing to lose. This is then always a situation where you can play just forward. But we did some things what we shouldn't do again. And I start always by myself. I take the responsibility. I think I take the responsibility for the first half, and I take also the responsibility for the second half, because this is my job.
How much pressure do you feel under, even from yourself, to get at least one trophy this season?
My own pressure is always high, because I want to be successful. I want to win something. I want to bring the club forward. I want to win titles. We have still 2 good options, 2 good opportunities to do something. It's a game where in 90 minutes, 120 minutes, everything is on for both teams. Let's see, we will try. We are focused. We know that we can do it, because we showed us 50 minutes how we can play. And with this positive mindset, we go in this game. pressure in football. I think it's normal. Every manager has pressure. It doesn't matter where you are. We know our club is special, but it's also a big honor to be manager of such a fantastic club.
Thanks for that, Fox. Albert, of course, it's the easiest thing to do after a game is you look back on it, you pick out the good points, you pick out the areas for improvement. But you said himself, he takes responsibility for the first half because we praise the manager for the team selection, the players are playing well. But you've got to also take the responsibility for the second half when things don't go well.
Absolutely, mate. He's not running away from it. I mean, he's not like, oh, it wasn't my fault. The big boy done it and ran away. He's taking full responsibility. What they expect him to do. That's the kind of guy he comes out as. I think he's a great coach. I think he's a nice man. I really do think he knows what he's doing. But the clown's asking the questions, the usual. No, I mean they're trying to get. Basically they're trying. What are you going to be doing? Are you changing something? If you're going to change something, what is it? Could you give us a full rundown of what you're going to be doing? It's stupid questions, mate. End of the day, we all seen what happened. We ran out of steam. They brought in a couple of subs. We didn't get. I don't know what the orders were from day Monday when he came on, but whatever it was, he wasn't doing. He was just charging about like a maniac. So it's a bit more controlled, a bit more thought into it, a bit more brave on the ball. The usual cliches, you know what I mean? It's I thought he came out well there. He's not trying to sugarcoat this. He knows exactly himself. For 50 minutes, nobody even spoke about him being a bad coach or getting sacked like some people are shouting about. Mental people were shouting about sack him and all this nonsense. Nobody was saying that after 50 minutes. But all of a sudden, they got a goal and a penalty kick. And a penalty kick they shouldn't have scored. I'm not saying the penalty kick wasn't a penalty kick, but they shouldn't have scored it, mate. That was ridiculous. That's one of the things I'd be going mental with the players to say. Look, they showed the desire you need to have to win leagues. That penalty kick was just a microcosm of what you really need to do. You need to fight desire and determination, and they showed that getting in to score that goal. We didn't. We were standing all hanging about, and nobody looked that particularly bothered about it. Your keeper saves it twice. That's the sort of thing that you emphasise with what went wrong, and that went wrong all over the park in the second half. So it's. I enjoyed his interview to a certain extent. I don't enjoy the questions, mate. I really don't. I think the questions are just nonsense, absolute, complete, and utter nonsense. You should be talking about the squad, who's fit, who's not fit. Is it possible that you're going to spring surprises? Maybe no, maybe aye. It's all this nonsense about is Oaksfield. You're going to sign his. You're going to press the button to sign his transfer. A lot of nonsense, mate. You wait at the end of the season to see. Right now, us supporters would say no. But the season's not done yet. The guy might go on to have the next 10, 11, 12 games. Superb. You don't know, mate. You just don't know. And then you say, oh, definitely, he's a bargain at this price. So it's these sort of questions that annoy me. The whole thing of the press conference annoy me anyway. I would just defer. I would just say no comment. Next question, please. Some of these questions, especially stupid ones.
Will we send you up to ask some questions the next time?
Aye, I'm telling you, that's send me up. Have a good laugh with me because I'll not be asked them. I just want to ask you the questions. Do we know what idiot, what incompetent clowns in charge of the game on Sunday?
I can certainly find out for you, mate. Can certainly find out for you. AK, just for a search up, mate, and give Albert the good news. One of the questions that Daniel was asked was about that momentum swing after the 50 minutes. Up to that point, as Albert says, playing well, nobody was questioning anything. He was asked, do you have a plan to stop that? Is that solely for Daniel, or is that more for the players?
Probably a bit of both. I think I agree with what Albert's saying there. They're looking for information out of him that he probably shouldn't be getting, but he's too clever to fall into that trap. But they've still to go to ask the questions. They're looking for a sensational headline because they think they've triggered them for the last presser when the boxed them into a corner with them speaking about the Celtic goalkeeper, and then that gets a reaction out of Martin O'Neill, and he's going, oh, aye, boys, all my England's got 5 minutes and he knows my team, all that sort of nonsense. You skirt away for that, and I think Danny Rowe, for the short time he has been in Glasgow, has got advisories run about him that should be telling him, listen, don't fall into the sort of traps. Walter was too clever for it because he was brought up in the west of Scotland. He knows exactly the underlying meaning behind a lot of these questions. So journalists are just journalists. They're scum, a lot of them. But I suppose they say they're doing their job, but it's ethics and morals that they don't go hand in hand with these sort of people. But no, listen, I think Danny Rowe will self-reflect, and they'll also have honest conversations with a lot of the players in the dressing room as well, Rob. And you need to have that in the aftermath of last week. For 50 minutes, we were excellent. There's nobody could dispute that. But when it's a 2-0 scoreline, we all know, anybody involved in football knows it's a vulnerable scoreline to have, because it only needs one goal to change the game, and that's what they done. I mean, people are accusing Rowe. What did he say in the dressing room? I'd love to know what he said to the player. Well, maybe it was Celtic that put us in that position. We're not giving Celtic any credit whatsoever. We done to them what they done to us at Celtic Park. They battered us the first half, and then we came out, but nobody was on about what was a half-time discussion there. It's only because of this one. So they've got another opportunity here to right or wrong, and it's a cup we're playing for now. So it's a totally different game. It's all or nothing, eh?
It is, mate. It is all or nothing. I know it's a quarter-final, but for me, you treat it as a final. You leave everything out on the park, and you do enough to get through the tie. And albeit, just to answer your question, the referee will be Don Robertson with Andrew
Christ.
Dallas and Matthew McDermott on VAR. I'll leave that with you, mate.
Oh, Christ, man. Don Robertson, another clown. Absolute See, this is one of the things that's going to make a difference in this game as well. The officials. Because I've said it all along. The officials will decide the league, and the officials will decide this cup as well. Well, maybe not all the cup, but definitely a large part of it. So they're in a title race, that mob across the city, because of the officials. They've kept them in the title race. They shouldn't be anywhere near this title race. Nowhere near it, mate. But they're in it because of what's happening with these officials. And that nobody can deny it, mate. That's exactly what's happening. Every dodgy VAR decision seems to go their way. Everyone. No, some, all of them. They're getting penalties, they're getting this, they're getting that. Then when they get somebody sent off for violent conduct, they're grating and moaning about it. You're saying, he should have been sent off. It's violent conduct. What are you talking about? It's not even a debate about it. He should have been sent off at Hampden as well, the clown, but he didn't. You got away with that one. I don't see them grating and moaning about that. But so the officials, in my opinion, is going to decide it. And I hope it's not the same on Sunday. Just he's a fair official. Just do your job and do it right. Instead of your nonsense like that coward beating, that wee fat rat beating on Sunday there. He bottled the penalty kick. Just totally, completely bottled it, mate. Ignored it altogether. Blew his whistle for something completely, I don't know what he blew it for, but anyway, he blew the whistle so to hide away to the fact it was a penalty kick. Penalty kick all day long. But anyway, it's officials I'm worrying about more than anything else on Sunday.
I think if you're looking for a fair official, mate, you're going to have to look out with Scotland, and we can't bring MD else in, unfortunately. Bridgeman, just before we hear part 2 of Danny Rowe's interview, he mentioned there about the goals we've conceded. He said 8, it's actually 7, not to quote him wrong or anything, but 7 goals in the last 5 games we've conceded. We've praised the defence quite a lot since Danny Rowe's come in. We went on a run of clean sheets. We need to find that form again, Bridgeman, just to be stubborn, to break down.
Yeah, when you're 2-0 up at home and getting at half time, the last thing you should be doing in anybody's language, and anybody watches football, is you definitely shouldn't be like losing any goals. You make your play your game the way you want, but for goodness sake, your defence has got to be on the ball for everything. You've got to be up for it. There's something you've got to hold. Hold a 2-goal lead for 45 minutes at Ibrox at your home ground. We couldn't do it. So this is the kind of strange things that are happening to Rangers. They're getting there, and somehow we're giving away stupid goals, really stupid goals. We're losing. So I'm not saying that the goals themselves are stupid. The way we've done it and tried to defend, we've failed badly, and people have got in and took great shots at goal and scored, or they're beating a guy, and we shouldn't be doing that. Our team we're the best, probably I would say the best footballing side in Scotland when we're on our game. In the first half, the last game we played them, we were on our game, and I don't understand. Seriously, I do not understand why we can't hold our game for 90 minutes. I just can't. But we've got to do it. There's no doubt about it. We've got to go out there and we've got to play. And the manager, of course, has got to, as I said earlier, he's got to, when he's making substitutions, he's got to make them right. If he's making a substitution for one thing, what's he doing? He's got to make use of all his substitutes to make sure people are still fresh and round about them. Because you can't have somebody running themselves into the ground trying to cover for someone who isn't quite 100%. That's where you've got to look out for in the second half of a big game like that. And you're only putting yourself under pressure, and he did. I'm sorry, he did. He only made 2 subs, and I thought the first one was a shocker, bringing Diamondi on, who never kicked the ball hardly when he was on. So I'm no complainer. It's just points I'm making. And my only complaint is we gave away a penalty, or they were given a penalty. Call it what you like, and we still couldn't manage. The goalkeeper made 3 saves, and they still got the ball in the net, and there wasn't a Rangers player near them. I don't understand that. These are the things I don't understand, and that's got to. Our players need to come up to the mark in their head. They've got to be thinking 100%. I'm ready to run down there and get in. And they should just throw their body right in among that lot and see what happens. And the goalkeeper will then get it. If you not get any support, he's up against 2 Celtic players there. I can't believe it. Really upset about it. I'm not going to say any more on that point.
Aye, of course, mate. There's always, when you can see that goal, you can hold your hands up and say sometimes it's indefendable. It's a great goal, nothing you can do about it. But at times, as we've seen over the last parts of this season, there has been times where we've been our own worst enemy at defending and causing ourselves problems. But if you get yourselves on mute, we'll hear part 2 of Danny Rose' interview, and we'll see if he gives us any team news.
Danny, I just wonder how Connor Barron is hoping maybe to be back in March. Is he any closer? Could he feature the weekend?
Yeah, we have full house in the training at the moment. Everyone is nearly back. Small issues with Mikey, but I think this should be okay for the weekend. There's a lot of players available, and this is again also some tough decisions. It's not just the lineup, it's also who is in the squad, and I have to make my decisions tomorrow after the training.
Ryan Adiri's obviously made a good impact. He hasn't always been able to play 90 minutes. Is he any closer to being able to do that for you?
Yeah, he's in a good way. I think, especially, also this game on the weekend, it was a high demanding game. He will play in more and more. But I think during the game, I felt that we have to change something. Dio trained really well during the week again. That was the reason why I made this decision to bring a 10 on and sub a centre forward out. I think in the middle of the pitch was not a problem. We had, in the second half, then some other parts they were not really well. And this is what we have to improve. And we spoke about all the topics. I make a lot of ticks this week, what we have to improve. And then we know, on Sunday we go again. We have a lot of energy, we have a lot of power, and we have a lot of trust to ourselves.
With this game being played to a finish, what sort of psychological boost do you think that could offer the winner going forward, in the title race, going into the split?
Yeah, at first the winner goes in the semi-final and you are close to go in the final. I think this is the most important thing. But it's another competition. I understand your question that you say, if you win, then maybe it's influenced this, but no, this game influenced just that you go in the semi-final or not. That influenced that you have a chance for a title or not. And after this game is fully focused until the international break to the league, and we have to do our homework. I think it's 2 games with St. Mirren and Aberdeen, and then we will see where we are, and then it will be exciting.
There'll be a different dynamic in the stand as well. 7,500 away fans like there used to be in these matches. Do you feel that could have an impact on the game at all, on the atmosphere at all?
Of course we have an impact. If we play 50 minutes like we did, then the 7,500 will also quiet. I think this is the part in the game, you feel it. We can influence, we can make the impact on our performance on the pitch, and the atmosphere was incredible. 50 minutes, really incredible. Was amazing to feel this. We pushed our players forward, and then it comes to 2-1, and then you feel it in the stadium as well. Yeah, but this is also part of the game. Maybe we can do it together, that we come also through this small minutes where you feel, the opponent comes a bit better into the game. But this 50 minutes was really, really, really outstanding. I really enjoyed this, to be in the touchline in such a game.
Danny, you said you take responsibility for the first half and the second half. What do you think you could have done better in the second half, be it tactically or decision making, and how might that influence your decision making come this Sunday?
Yeah, I think as a manager you always take responsibility for 90 minutes. It's the full game where you look back. You said then, okay, you can do this, but it's always after without emotional. It's just from the tactical part, and then it's much easier with a little bit distance to make some decisions. You speak of, I said this, for me to go to the 4-2-3-1, there was a clear idea behind, but there was a other issue, what I maybe was not clear enough to sort it out as before. And this is what I look back. We spoke yesterday about this, but don't get me wrong, football is not always about tactic. It's also about emotional, and this emotional level in the second half was really high. One team has nothing to lose, can go all in. The other team fight to come through, and did until minute 91. So far so good. Yeah, even it was not everything right. And then finally you get a late equalizer. But yeah, I take this. I take the experience again. I take some things from this. We spoke about this, and then we move forward. And this is the most important key.
Your players obviously played really high intensity, particularly in the first half. Is it possible to replicate that for 90 minutes? And if it's not, do you then have to make decisions with regards to using your substitutes?
It should be our goal. I think when you ask me how should be a Rangers team in the future all the time, then we bring our level versus Hearts and also versus Celtic on a really good way. I think this is, and I know we speak about results, this is the most important key, I said this many times, but compare the group from the beginning when I arrived to these 2 games, and it was not over 90 minutes, is what we have to improve. If we can do this, keep going, then it will be tough to beat us in the future.
Obviously, the last one for me, Danny. Obviously, you came in mid-October. Do you feel that Rangers need to win a trophy this season for this season to be successful?
Yeah, as a Ranger manager, you have to. As a club, you have to. With these ambitions, we have to. I take it also not as excuses that we come from 13 points in behind. This is part of the job. We took them to 2 points close. I think we know this. The last 2 results, 2 draws, was for me unnecessary when I compare the results with the performance. And we have a great opportunity on Sunday to make a good step in a first title maybe.
Just how big a boost is it to get Connor back ahead of schedule, because he was playing arguably the best football of his career before the knee injury against Aberdeen?
Yeah, general, I think not just for Connor. This is the new thing for us as a group. I think this is also where we have to improve and growing now. 3 weeks ago you had nearly every week a midweek game, and it was clear there comes a moment where you come in. We have some players, they performed well, then they are out for one game, the other player performed well, then it means, okay, you start again and you have to fight again for your position. This is crucial. This is the reason why you have to deliver during the week now to get a position in the squad, and then you have to deliver that you get a position in the starting lineup. And yeah, it's a challenge for us all, but it shows as well where we are with the group, with the players, and with the team, in which direction we go. And now we have to stick together. But it's also clear for me, in the league we have 9 games to go, and it's not time now to give presents and gifts. It's really important that we have also a core now together with this group. We will go again and again. You cannot change everything. This is not now the time. In March it's about be ready for the final games.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Thanks again for that, folks. And of course, folks out there listening, if you've got any points or any thoughts, come join us and put them to the guys on the show this evening. First bit of positive news from that part, albeit Connor Barron's obviously back in training. Whether he's involved in Sunday, I wouldn't imagine so, but it's good to have him back nonetheless.
I mean, he's the full squad to choose for, so we Barnes back, which is good. Can't he be? It's not a bad thing, no. I mean, it's good to hear that the wee man's back. You definitely need his energy, but as you say, whether he's going to start or whether he's going to be on the bench, I don't know. Might not even be on the bench, might be on the stand, but you don't know. But it's good to hear that wee man's back training anyway. You don't hear it. You don't like to hear anybody with long-term injury.
No, and he was certainly obviously playing well. As one of the reporters there said, it was probably his best form of his career so far. And AK was really quite a pivotal part of that midfield for us. He came to the floor. He was a shining light in the early kind of tenure of Danny Rule.
Aye, but he was limited with his options, and he didn't have Chukubani to rely on it at that point. Some people might say we've missed Barron in the midfield. Others will say, well, he's a good one to have on your bench just to refresh the midfield in case we need to. And I think that's the way Danny Rowe will look at it. I can see young Barron being on the bench, and if we need to refresh in the midfield and get legs in there, get a bit of dig in there, then that's a good boy. I think that can come in there. There's a kind of wee Ryan Jack look about the young man. You know, there's nothing fancy about him. He just goes about his business. He works hard for the team, for the short size and stature that he is. He certainly makes up for it in the fight and endeavour. And you know, just get the sleeves rolled up, and I think a lot of your supporters appreciate that attitude, Rob.
Bridgeman, the only kind of small minor issue appears to be with Mikey Moore, just a small issue, but it should be okay for Sunday. I think we're all hoping that he is fit to play because he has become quite an important part of the squad. He's a player that gets the fans excited and he can cause them some problems, which we did see do in the first half particularly.
Well, he's one of our better players, isn't he, really? He's actually turned himself into a really, really good player since the turn of the year. I'm not saying he played badly for any other part of the year, but my goodness gracious, he's been really, really good for us. And if there's a song we can get him in the cheap, it'd be brilliant because he really turns on. The crowd love him once he goes in his wee runs. They just love him, and he is a smashing player. There's nobody can deny that. There are times when he gets lost because he's maybe got 4 or 5 men running about him. He doesn't know what to do, but he's a young laddie. My God Almighty, like some energy and great running ability. So I love him a bit like that. I think he scored some smashing goals for us. He's made goals. He's made a lot of good breaks through the middle, and made some final passes to set people up. And I think he's great. I hope he's got fit, and I hope he doesn't get injuries for the rest of the season, because I think he's one that for me he's one of the first, and he's hard coded into the first team for me. That's my selection.
You certainly get a talent bridge. I think you can see the level of development he's had at Spurs. It's obviously worth a watch to see what happens with Spurs this season. I know there's still a lot of games to be played down there, and a lot of conversations surrounding Mikey Moore at the minute in terms of rumours and speculation, but we'll see where that takes us at the end of the season. But Albert, I know you're a great believer in one game at a time and a big fan of the questions that were asked, but come Sunday, does the result have any effect on what happens in the rest of the season in the league?
Not a chance. Not a chance, mate. One game. If you allow it to affect you, it will affect you. So you've got it in your own control, mate. You can actually keep it all nice and calm, nice and focused. I mean, like this transfer talk about Mikey Moore, it's fake news, mate. It's just a total utter garbage. There's no way Tottenham's letting a boy that. They've got quality come to Rangers for £3, £4, £5 million. It's nonsense, mate. All that's designed as fake news to get your mind and your focus away from these two games. If you listen to the crap it's been about last week and now this week, it's just nonsense, mate. Absolute nonsense. What I'm looking for is a completely focused team this Sunday. We had a complete focused team for 50 minutes last Sunday. I'm looking for a 90-minute, or as he says, it could be 120 minutes, however long the game's going for. I'm looking for a focused team. That's all we're looking for, mate. Just put your effort in, make the subs at the right time, squad game, all that, all the cliches you want to attach to it, you can attach to it. But at the end of the day, keep focused, mate. That's concentration and focus is the key to it, and the officials, of course. But as far as I'm concerned, I just see that Mikey Moore talking all that. I just dismiss it. I just completely and utterly dismiss all that nonsense. Every time we get into a big game, all this crap comes out. Olsen and all this kind of. I wouldn't even play. I wouldn't start Olsen. That's just my exclusive for you. I wouldn't even start Olsen on Sunday.
That is certainly a name that's been discussed, of course. I mean, I've been on here this show and I've said how excited I was to see him and how good he can be, as we've seen over the years, but he's still yet to kind of really show his true qualities. Certainly to warrant at this minute in time any sort of talk about transfers. But as you said, it'll be far too early. You've still got games to go, a season to play for, a title, a cup. So forget all that.
The Olsen, I wouldn't drop Olsen because of the way he's played. It's not to do with that. It's tactical, mate. That's all. It's just tactical. I wouldn't start him for the reasons. I know he's got to go to the team later on, so I'll leave it to later on.
No, you're fine, mate. Floor's yours. Give your thoughts on it. Why you wouldn't play him? Is it the setup? Is it the formation?
Aye. I play Berjami before I play Olsen, and it's for a reason to pick up Berjami to pick up what he's done before and been very successful to pick up McGregor. If he picks up McGregor, he'll leave Raskin to deal with Hitati, and Chitwani will deal with the other big clown. So I think with doing that, you'll not have to charge about the park so much. You'll just break it up. You'll break it down and stop it. Because remember, they're not coming out to play the way they played the first half and Sunday, the same first half again this Sunday. That's not going to happen, mate. So you may as well get it in your head that you need to have a bit more tactical awareness about this. So at the end of the day, that's what I would do. I would just say keep Olsen for later on in the game. I would keep him for the last 20 minutes, half an hour, whatever, and let him come on and make a real influence. Give him a chance, give him a fighting chance to make an influence. I'm not saying he's a bad player, I'm just saying that he's not been shown enough. He's not involved in the game enough. He should be involved in the game as much as Mikey Moore's involved in the game. I mean, every player should be as much involved in the game in their position as much as Mikey Moore's involved. That's the way you do it, mate. The way that boy plays is the attitude and application you're looking for all over the park, mate. Not just one wee player, one wee 18-year-old showing you how to do it. They all should be doing it. So that's what they with Olsen anyway, definitely.
I take that on board, mate. I get your rationale behind that one. AK, one of the biggest talking points into this game, of course, was the ticket allocation for the away support. It was confirmed, obviously, last week or so that they were going to get the 7,500. The atmosphere is certainly going to be completely different from what we've known over the years. How big a factor does that play in for both sets of players?
For players, I don't think it makes a great deal of difference, apart from the fact it'll just be a wall of noise for the entire 90 minutes. The two of them faced off at Hampden earlier in the season with a 50-50 crowd, so it'll no affect the performance of the players. It shouldn't affect the performance of the players that much. No doubt it'll give them a boost looking at a full stand of their own supporters, but that just says to the rest of the crowd at Ibrox in blue to up the noise levels, to drown them out, and hope it's us that's celebrating goals and moments and stuff. So I think for the neutral point of view, and I think for the spectacle point of view, it's good for the TV, it's good for the spectacle. But it's up to the players in the park. I don't think it should influence them. But if they do score in front of them, our players celebrate it. The way Ian Ferguson used to go and just get up to the crowd, or wee Durant, or McCoist, or Goff, Big Butcher. We've had many moments, good moments in front of their support. There's nothing we love better than one of our players getting it up to them and then go and celebrating with the rest of the crowd. So, but I think that the crowd does have a part to play. A couple of weeks ago against Hearts, I thought the crowd was magnificent for the entire 90 minutes. We had a couple of moments where we went behind and the crowd, got right behind the team, and we responded quickly, and we responded in the right manner. Even Derek McInnes spoke about it, that there was an atmosphere, a tension in the atmosphere, that he knew that the crowd was up for it. So I'm hoping that our crowd should be up for it as much as they are. And then just let's hope the players are good enough on the part to come away with the victory.
Here. Bridgeman, your thoughts on the allocation and the effect it may have in the game from your view?
Well, I don't want to put a damner on the show, so I'll try and hold my words back a wee bit. It'll obviously be a great thing for them, getting a full stand again. It's been a while since they've had that. I'm not for it. I think it spoils it for Rangers. But I'm not stupid. It's a cup game, and my generation was brought up with, shall we say, 50-50 Rangers Celtic matches. There was railings down the middle of the stands and things like that. So you one side and one the other. The sheds opposite the stand and all these things. We were used to having this. And colloquially, there was always a Rangers end, a Celtic end, or near enough a Rangers end in every ground in Scotland, as we put it. So I'm used to that, and that's 50-50. But I'm more than happy that they should only have the 750. But it will make a big difference, and obviously you're getting something like a tenfold. It was tenfold as a normal thing what you get. So multiply that by 750 seats to your 7,500, and there you go. It's easy to work out. That'll make a huge difference for them, because they like to make noises, and they'll wreck the stadium. They will absolutely wreck the Broomlawn, that's for sure. And I don't know whether they'll wreck it because they get beat or because they win. It doesn't matter to them. I think they'll end up seeing a lot of damage in our stadium. But because I don't want them in anyway. But that's what I think it'll make a massive difference for them. They've got what they've been claiming for a longer number of years now. They wanted that full Broomlawn because they can make noise, and that can affect their team. Their team look to the crowd to sort of bring them up. And most teams do it for their own fans, but them especially, and they think everybody loves them and all that nonsense, So that I don't think it's going to. It might be a big negative for Rangers. It could be, but at the end of the day, we'll still get the rest of the stadium full of Rangers fans, and we shouldn't be worried about them at all. Not at all. Just got to go there and do it.
Oh, but I'm just wondering if all those supporters across the city that have boycotted their home games will be so keen to get to the away game on Sunday.
They always are, mate. They come to see the Rangers. The keep telling you this. We're the only club in Scotland can fill every ground in Scotland. The only club that does it, mate, including that mob over there. You've got to remember when we won in the league, they shut the tap, the whole tap to Stone, the whole tap end of the park. It shut down. Till Rangers come back into the league and then it all filled up again. So we're the only team that fills every stadium, mate, without a shadow of a doubt. We're the only team that can do it. But to me, it's the 7,500 again, and it's just a bigger cleaning bowl to me, mate. It's mere bowls of bleach. That's all it is to me. Stinking trumpets in there. I wouldn't have them in there. If I had my way, I wouldn't have them in there at all, mate. I can't stand them. Don't want them in there. Don't think they bring in to the game at all. Just think they detract the atmosphere. I don't like it. That's my opinion on them, mate. And I'll not change my mind on them either. I've always said it. I was happy when they all get kicked out.
You're stubborn, Albert.
I don't forget, mate. I don't forgive and forget. I know what they're all about. I don't forgive or forget, mate.
I know. Domestos, bring your own Domestos and links.
I'm only saying what their own club tell them. He sent them, they sent them letters telling them they're stinking. Their own club done that to them, not me. I'm only following suit and saying we don't want your stinking bodies in our stadium.
AK, it's something that's came up, not just of this past week, but being able to get a 90-minute performance or 90-plus minute these days performance. Obviously, we spoke in detail about how good the first 50 minutes was on Sunday. For you, mate, what do you put it down to that we've not yet seen a 90-minute performance? Is it a single factor, or is it sometimes just the opposition responding to what we're doing as well?
I think it's a collective. I don't think it's a singular factor, Rob. It could be a fitness issue. I'm not sure, but you've got to recognise when the changes need to get made. If players are gassing out the way they did last week, I'm a wee bit concerned with that, and I'm hoping Danny Rowe and his coaches are finger on the pulse this week. If you can see somebody's energy levels is dropping, get them changed and utilise the bench, because you've got good players on the bench regardless of the team that he picks. So that's first and foremost. Listen, we proved we can do it. The 90-minute performance for me this year was Hearts at Ibrox. I thought they were excellent from start to finish, and that was us going a goal behind twice against Hearts. So again, you've got to respect your opponent, and they can hurt you in particular areas, but we've no need to give switched on. I mean, the Ox highlighted it all week about the 8-9 defenders basically standing like statues in our box. They need to be more switched on to the players round about them and where their dangers are. Cut the ball out for source. We've heard that many a time. Don't let it come in the first place. But when it does come in, make sure you've got your men and you're matched up that people don't get free headers in the 6-yard box. If it is in the 6-yard box, Butland, that's your area. Come and clean it out. You know, take responsibility for your roles in the team. So I'm sure that they've probably worked on it, mate. Organisation, concentration, mentality, whatever it is that's getting thrown at our players, it's only them that can answer it. So as I said, I touched on earlier, I think there's been a lot of honest conversations between the players and the managers and the coaching staff, and I hope they can just iron everything out. So it's a perfect Sunday afternoon for us. But it's who wants it base for me. That's what it basically boils down to, Rob.
Bridgeman?
Yeah, AK's right there, you know. I find it difficult to, shall we say, be fair to not, I don't want to be fair to Celtic anyway, but I find it difficult to be fair in these games because my fear is not necessarily us making a mistake, but the mistake what we do make, it gets compounded by the mistakes that the officials make and their drive to shall we say to help Celtic when we're playing us. That's my fear. These are a lot of my fears. I know I might be deviating away from the kind of point there, but apologies, forgive me. That's how I feel when I watch my team against them, and we play really good football sometimes. When we make a mistake, it causes a whole load of other things to happen, and not just something to happen, but something that could happen that is right out of our control, because it's down to officials and the decisions that they make against us. Shall we say, adds, what can I say? Adds pain to the way maybe we're winning a game and we lose it. And that's the way I feel about it all. There's some things happening in the game, and I just can't cope with it all. You know, my nerves get jumping, and I start getting angry. And that I just feel that, so I had to get that off my chest. I do apologise, guys. That's the way I feel about it. We're playing well, and all of a sudden we make a mistake, and it gets compounded by another sometimes incompetent officials. And I'm sorry to say, maybe we shouldn't do these things, but I just feel it's a horrible feeling when you do it, and you just it eats away at you. You know. But I do apologise, guys. Once again, sorry, Robert. I didn't mean to drag it down there. I got a level. Apologies.
No, you're fine, mate. You're just voicing your opinion, and the show's all about it. Albert, he's right though, isn't he? Sometimes the mistakes, sometimes they are by our players. They've made mistakes. We get that. Every player's human. But when it's compounded by officials as well, as you've said, the officials will have a say in this game and the rest of the season. You've said it for a long time, mate.
It's a fact. It's just I mean, don't get me wrong. On Sunday we didn't help ourselves with the amount of times we gave the ball away. We'd a big part to play in that second half as a team, as a club. There's no getting away from that. They brought in a couple of players who made a difference. You can't say it didn't happen that way. But I still think if we'd have got it right and didn't stop giving the ball away, just stop giving the ball straight back to them, and we done it. When somebody came out with a stat that 1 in 3 passes were getting to them, it was mad, mate. It's completely and utter madness. And we'll be doing that. If you look at every game that we have played and teams have come back in, it always starts that way. We start getting the ball away. If you think of the Hibs, the Hibs and the Motherwell game in particular, we were getting the ball away all the time. So you need to stop it, mate. It's just one of the things that a bit more composure, a bit more thought goes into it. Don't ask them to take chances, silly chances, but Butland's distribution is ridiculously bad, mate. Ridiculously bad. It really is. He shouldn't be on the ball at all, mate, as far as I'm concerned. And he's launching the ball up the park. He keeps launching up the park, which there's nothing wrong with launching up the park, or a long pass, as we call it, if it's accurate. If it's not accurate, it's a complete and utter waste of time, and it causes you more trouble than anything else, because it's going straight up and straight back all day, all that second half. That's what was happening, just up, back, kept the momentum going for them. So you're looking at them saying, if you're going to put it up to get the defenders turned, I was rattling over that the other night. If you're going to put it up the park like that, get them turned. If you get them turned running towards the end goal, they're not coming back at you. They've got to get the ball turned and then start the move. By that time, you could get your forwards on top of them, making it difficult for them. It's just silly things like that don't help. You've got to give them some sort of credit for what they've done in the second half, but you don't give them all the credit. You've got to sit and say yourself, we played a big part on what happened there on Sunday in the second half. So let's hope this Sunday, completely different game. And we sort out a lot of mistakes, but getting the ball away is a big fault. There's certain players that are bad for it, just bad. Raskin's bad for it. Butland's bad for it. Suter's bad for it. But I've no got Suter playing anyway.
Well, after the tune, mate, you can give us your team and we'll see if AK and Bridgeman agree with you. I've got mine as well. I'll give you that after the tune. I don't think there'll be many changes between us or many differences between us, but it'll be interesting to see. But have a think about it while we listen to the tune for tonight, selected by Fox.
I don't know if you can see what the Rangers really mean to me in these last few years. I've been afraid that we might drift away, so I've been telling old stories and singing songs that made me think about where we came from, and that's the reason why I feel so very proud today. So let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Ibrox Stadium is calling me, and now I'm coming home. To think of life without the Rangers, you know that it would make me more sad. Glasgow Rangers, you're everything I've ever had. We won 9 in a row, and I'm still dreaming of Brian Laudrup and Trevor Stephen. Big Marvin Andrews said keep believing. Davy Cooper on the wing, and we remember Gaza with great affection. The day the helicopter changed direction, and Jimmy Baxter was pure perfection. Super Valley scores again. So let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Ibrox Stadium is calling me, and now I'm coming home. To think of life without the Rangers, you know that it would make me more than sad. Glasgow Rangers, you're everything I've ever had. So let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Ibrox Stadium is calling me, and I'm coming home. To think of life without the Rangers, you know that it would make me more sad. Glasgow Rangers, you're everything I've ever had. Without the Rangers, you know that it would make me more than sad. Glasgow Rangers is everything I've ever had.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Thanks again for that, Fox. All bear just for you.
Aye, I'm just going to start saying I love it now. I mean, every time I say hate it, they play it. Anyway, do you want my team?
Yes, mate, go for it. Let's hear your team.
Butland, Sterling, De Jigger, Fernandez, Romes, Tukwani, Raskin, Berjami, Moore, Sermiti, and Nadiri.
You going with the 4-2-2-2, or is that 4-4-2?
4-4-2.
All right, mate. What's your rationale with Giga dropping Suter?
It's just Suter stinking. He's just playing bad, mate. Just playing bad. I don't think he'll probably not do it, but I would do it. He's just playing bad. If you look at the goals we've lost against what do you call it, Motherwell, and then against Livingston, and then against them, and against Hearts, he's in amongst them, mate. Most of the goals, not all of them, but most of the goals, he's in there, and he's a part to play in the goal getting lost. At the end of the day, he's there to stop goals, mate. That's what he's primarily there to do, and he's not doing it. It's not just him, but he's not playing well, mate. And if you play Mida through the middle, he'll freak like he done on Sunday there. He just freaks with that wee clown. Instead of just giving it to him and making sure the wee clown doesn't give you any trouble, he sort of runs away from him. And he knows how he puts the ball by him, he freaks that he can't catch him. So, no for me, mate. He's you got to take him out the team. When you're playing bad, you got to go out the team. It's as simple as that. That's just the way you should be doing it. Disregard the personalities and who you like and who you don't like. If you're not playing well, you shouldn't be on the team. But Raskin is on the border with me, whether he should be in or whether he shouldn't be in. But there's nobody to replace him. That's basically how he's in the team. It's no through performances, mate. I'll tell you that right now. So these teams, all the players, not just some of them, all the players need to start turning up now. These last dozen games or so, they all need to start turning up. No passengers, mate. And Suter and Raskin are starting to develop into passengers.
Are you a fan of the two up top? Is that the way you see us
Oh,
being
aye.
better?
Oh, aye, definitely, mate. We'll try that crappy 4-2-3-1 system. That's just mince, mate. That is just total mince. That formation. We don't play it well. We can't play it well. I don't know if it's we've not got the players to play it well, but we don't play it well anyway. It does nothing for us. We don't look like scoring when we play it, and we look very vulnerable at the back. Don't ask me how it works, but that's a fact, because every time we play that, we don't look like scoring. I think you see that yourself. So no, I'm a fan of the two up front, definitely, 100%.
All right, mate. AK, you get any differences to that? Have you copied Albert's homework this weekend?
Nearly. I think I was looking at the shooter for 90% of it, right enough. I said that Albert speaks a lot of sense there for me. I agree with a lot he says. I've also got Giga in for their reasons. Suter's been at a crime scene too many times and is culpable. Well, it's not just him, but he's meant to be a leader in the team and he's not showing that. So for me, I think Danny Rowe takes him out it and puts in Giga. But I've got Butland, Sterling, Giga, Fernandez, Romans, Chukwani, Raskin, and I'm throwing wee Raskin the captain's armband as well, because I don't think it should be going to Butland. I've got Diamondi, Moore, Nadiri and Chermiti. But I've also got pre-arranged subs. For me, Tavernier would become known for Sterling, give him half an hour influence again. Barron to come on for either Raskin or Diamondi, whoever's no playing particularly great at the time. Bajrami, I think, would come on for Moore and Scov Olsen to come up and partner Chermiti when Nadiri's legs start to tire.
Is that sports science or is that just personnel freshen it up?
A bit of both. I mean, it's no the. If I'm presuming the game's going to go the exact same way as what it did last week, but I just think we need to get changes, and he's got a bench here. Use it, because Martin O'Neill threw everything. He had nothing to lose. His team's 2-0 down and heading out the title challenge door. But he threw everything at it, and for me, Danny Rose just stood there on the sidelines, and I don't know whether it was a lot of things running through his mind. The last time I made subs against Motherwell that went wrong, and all the support went up my arms, and I'm looking at my coaches, and I'm looking at my bench, and end up doing nothing. And doing nothing it's one of the worst things you could do as a Rangers manager. You're kind of showing a wee bit of stage fright there in front of 50,000 people going, what you got to do next? What's your next move? And I think he's got to control the game as much as the players and show Martin O'Neill that, listen, I can counteract what you're throwing at me with the players that I've got at my disposal. So it's just everybody collectively showing a wee bit of game ownership better than what they did last week.
How are you setting your midfield up, mate? Having Diamondi in as well as Raskin and Chukwani?
You could play it numerous ways. You could set up 4-3-3. You could go 4-4-2. You could go a diamond. You could go Chukwani sitting and let the three in the front of him. Try and join the front line. But everybody's got a role to play, whether you're a forward or a defender. Go and join in wherever your pal's getting if somebody's getting a hard time down the flank, midfield or attack gear and shuffle there. It's a whole team effort. It's no about individuals. You don't win this game as individuals. It's collectively, and we've got to play as a team and be better at it. And don't be fear to them. Don't be fear to the challenge ahead. Embrace it. Stone up. Wear that jersey with pride and represent the thousands that's watching at home with pride, and let's get that victory and the Monkey Arthur back.
Bridgeman, I'll come to you. Obviously, as a former centre half yourself, Suter has been questioned of late. Obviously, his positional sense and his defensive work. We know what he offers. We know his weaknesses. For you, do you see Suter being dropped on Sunday and Giga coming in, or would you keep Suter?
Well, if it was for me, I wouldn't keep him in the team. It is. It depends on who's fit. If Giga, if he's fit, then he's got to play. I can't see us playing with Suter. Although, like, Suter's an Scottish international centre half, so he's got to have some sort of qualities. I have difficulty agreeing with those qualities to say that I like him to be my centre half. Maybe some other teams want him as a centre half, but for me, I've never wanted him as a centre half, so I'm a wee bit biased that way. However, he has come out and sometimes he's played quite well, but invariably there's a major mistake in him, at least one. And but I have to say, he does exert himself back and gets in good blocks. He does, and he's ruthless. He'll take the guys out of the game and things like that, which a centre half would do if he was beaten for pace. But no, he makes some terrible decisions. He makes some terrible runs up, and he maybe runs 4 or 5 paces into the opposition half, and maybe 6, and then you're all of a sudden he's forgot 6, maybe he's forgot 7 and 8, and he's trying to get to 9, 10, and the ball's not there anymore. If you follow what I mean, he's not got the stride to keep on going. He's not got the pace, and all of a sudden there's 3 people running about and take a ball off him. That's my problem with him. Not just that, but he might make a pass, and the pass is a stretch. So an absolute mistake in it. And everybody else is right in there, right up with him, waiting on that ball coming through to somebody. He's not there. I think there's a major faults in his game. Like most players have got faults in their game, but he's got major faults in his game. And for a centre half, he makes some terrible clangers, and he compounds his other mistakes. So I would suggest, for me, I wouldn't have Suter my team. But I'm not a manager. The manager sees him in training, and he might like what he sees, so therefore he will pick him. And if he's on the park for the Rangers, I'm supporting him while he's there. I'm still leaving myself the bonus of being able to critique him quite heavily, as I'm doing. I hope I'm no moaning. I hope it's no coming across as I'm moaning. I don't like him anyway as our centre half. I think we could do a lot better getting another centre half in. That'll not happen now until at least summertime. But he's a good standby, I would imagine. But he's starting to pick up injuries, and I think he's starting to pick up injuries a couple of seasons now. For me, I'd go for Giga centre half if I could. If he's not there, then it's got to be Suter, and that should be where. I can agree with the guys in the teams that they've selected so far. I just can Robert, can you just tell me what the 4-4-2 the 4-4-2 team, what was the midfield again?
I think Albert had Raskin and Chukwani as the midfield, Bayrami and Moore. Am I right, Albert?
Yeah, all right, that's it.
Okay. Well, that sounds very interesting. You see, I would personally, my gut tells me I would be playing with Gassama, but only on the left rather, and Mickey Moore. I think those are the two I would suggest. Two of the best actual footballers, dribbling skills and things like that. And when they're confident, they really are on a game. However, I know that Bayrami is a very confident guy, and is again an international player. So we can't discount him, or we shouldn't discount him, should I say? He's done well for us in some games. Other games he's came on, he just hasn't actually touched the ball hardly. I would like to see.
That's my thinking, mate. That's my thinking. Gazzama coming on, Olsen and Gazzama coming on. Have been the last 4 of the game. Left and right winger coming on.
Yeah, and that's great as well. That's why I'm saying I like Gassama. He's a fabulous player. We could just get him out of this. I don't think he's into a wee huff or something like that. But I must say, from a club perspective, he must play on the left. He's far more productive on the left, and I'm sure that our left back would be able to match up with him and make some moves out of that. I like the way he cuts in and has his shots at goal, although sometimes they're quite wild. But I like the way he does it. I think he's a smashing wee player. So I would like him in my team. But I absolutely get the Bayrami's a smashing player as well when he's on form, and he's an experienced player. So it might just be what we need in the cauldron against the Celtic. I would go for the 4-4-2 100%. I think we're two big guys, Chermiti and can't remember the boy's name, Nadiri. That's the two. I definitely have him up front. And you know, we start playing football and we're at Ibrox. Then we play football. Let's do it and do it right, and use the width of the park. If you've got likes of Gassama, he likes to hang onto the wing, and get him doing it right. And Bayrami's much the same. He could play in the wing. I'm sure I saw a headline tonight saying that Biscuit Hips isn't playing tonight and Sunday. So Tierney's injured, and that's all there is to it. And he's the best player apparently. And you listen to some folk. So that's a chance to put somebody on the right that can actually be effective and not get battered into, you know. So that's a bonus for us if he's not playing, in my opinion.
Before I give you my team and my setup, a question just to put yourselves first. I'll come to you first, Albert, and then AK. Cup competition, usually you see a bit of rotation. Don't see Liam Kelly starting, either you two? Albert?
No, absolutely not, mate. It's I don't think he's an upgrade. I don't think he is a bit. I don't see him as an upgrade on Butland. I think he's as much a. I think he is. I think what he is what he is, a second choice goalkeeper. So for this game, if you're going to bring somebody on, you're looking for an upgrade. Well, I'm drafting Suter to bring De Jager on because I think De Jager might be playing better. Butler's not. Suter's not playing well, but bringing Kelly on, I don't see it as an upgrade. Just see it as you're bringing your second string keeper on. So no, definitely no. And they only usually do that anyway is because it's to give game time. We're at the end of the season now. This is a business end of the season. Giving people game time for the sake of giving them game time is done. That bit's done now, mate. This is all about first team players going on every game now, and going for victories in every game. Try to get somebody fitness and game time. That's no. It's like Barron. If you're going to have to put him on to try and give him game time to get him fit, this is not the time to do it, man. It's just no. If you're 4-0 up, 15 minutes to go, maybe then, but that's the only time. So no, I don't think Kelly's a brilliant keeper anyway, man. I think he's just there's nothing about him. It strikes me as he's a gem and he should be playing in the first team. Put it this way, if you had the choice, who would you pick, Butland or him? And I'm not a great fan of Butland's either. I don't think Butland's okay, but he's not a brilliant keeper. He's an okay keeper. So who would you pick between Kelly and Butland? You don't pick Butland all the time. In my opinion, anyway.
AK, you keep your namesake on the bench?
On this occasion, Albert, again, speaking some sense. I don't know what's wrong with him tonight. He must have got a good dinner or something tonight.
I've had a few beers.
That's a couple of you. Put them in the fridge. No, but listen, but there was a moment last year, Barry Ferguson made a strong decision. Butland was making a few errors in Fenerbahce, and he dropped Butland. And that was the right call to make, because at that time you just got to take the player out of the firing line. I think that's where both myself and Albert's coming for the night with taking Suter out the firing line. You don't deserve to get thrown a starting jersey if you're making consistent errors that's costing us valuable points. At that point of the season, Barry Ferguson decided, no, I can't rely on you. for this game. And to be fair, Liam Kelly came in and he saved the penalties and that got us through to the next round. So he's a competent keeper, Kelly, but he's no. I don't think he's got ambitions of being kind of number one at Rangers. He's just quite content to sit there and be a good understudy for the first choice keeper. And Jack Butland is very much still our first choice goalkeeper. But whether he is beyond this season, I don't know. Only the club, Danny Rowe and him will be able to tell. But at this moment in time, Jack Butland is still our number one.
Aye, I've got Butland starting as well, and you're right in what you're saying, AK. There was a period of time where Butland was questioned, he was making errors, and he did get taken at the firing line. You go back to early stages of this season, he was a standout player of the year already for us, simply because he kept scores down, he kept us in games, he's had big moments, he's had errors, let's not kid ourselves on, he's had errors like every player in the squad this season, but he's still, for me, the better of the two over Liam Kelly. Liam Kelly's probably better with the ball at your feet, but you don't want your keeper having the ball at your feet. You want the ball up the park, away from your keeper. So I've got Butland. My back four is Sterling, Giga, Fernandez and Romans. Exact same as yourself, Alberneke. Just take Suter out that firing line. And Giga, to credit to him, since he came back from the Africa Cup of Nations, he performed pretty well in the games he played. Quite unlucky to be dropped, in my opinion, for Suter. But I do think Danny Rule will go with Suter, but I would go with Giga. My midfield, I'm sitting as a flat three. Diamonde, Raskin and Chukwani. Raskin to the right of Chukwani and Diamonde on to the left. Moore in the 10 as a pocket with Nadiri and Chermiti up front. My only rationale for that setup, I know there's no width. I know it's very narrow. But I think you saw in the second half when Hatate came on, who I expect to start the game on Sunday for them. I think we need to have bodies in the middle of the park just to be man for man. And Mikey Moore in that free role as a 10 can go straight, left or right, and it can cause a few problems. But I think we've been joined by our south side. It must be Friday night. Evening, south side.
Evening, how are you, Strips?
Good, mate. Good yourself.
All right, Paul.
Aye, good, mate, yourself. What's happening? He's all geared up for Sunday.
Aye, certainly building it up to it, mate. Building up, just discussing what we think the team could be or should be going into the weekend.
All right.
Getting a bit of an echo off your south side.
All right. Hold on. Here's a minute.
We'll let some cheap sort it out.
Hey, cheap headphones that him and Albert go off the barrage.
I don't shop in the bars. That's too far up beside certain pubs and that, and certain stadiums. I wouldn't like to get here, apart from just on match days. All right, Albert.
Nothing wrong with the bars. That's where I bought my wife.
How many sports soaks did you get with her?
4 free towels. I think the team will probably be similar to what it started. I don't think it'll change too much. I know probably you could make a change here or there, but I think you'll probably start more or less with that 11. Might change one. There might be room for one change that we might not expect, but I think on the whole he'll go with what started last week. I think it was enough in the first half. Seen what they were capable of when they hit it together. So I think you'll start with that. I don't think there'll change unless you have got any other ideas.
I think Albert's made 2 changes. He's brought Giger in for Suter and Bayrami in for Scove-Olsen. And AK's also went for Giger in for Suter and brought Diamonde into the middle with Scove-Olsen on the bench.
Aye, I can see rationales in that. Why? But if that means they're going to make Butland captain. There'll be no Tav to be captain. Suter would probably take it. I think Suter will start, but listen, Giga probably had done nothing wrong. He's got plenty of pace. if they were considering playing Maeda through the middle, he'd be a perfect for that role because he's got plenty of pace in him. I don't think he'd have any problems, but I don't know whether he'll make a change or no. I think he'll probably start with the same defence as he started with. But listen, I wouldn't be surprised if Chica came in. I wouldn't be too worried about it. And Diamondi coming into midfield, I get the idea. And then you're going to have to, you know, have a right winger. Is that what you're getting at, AK? Were you just taking the right winger out altogether then?
No, it was just a wee bit what Rob suggested with his kind of tactical analysis. You're still getting an echo there, Southside. No, it's just the start of the game. I just think we'd like to overload the midfield. It's got to be a midfield battle. I think they're going to probably start with more like the team they finish with. So we want to match them up man for man, and then I think our bench could win the game thereafter. But we're only guessing, mate, aren't we? But I'd be throwing Raskin the armband myself, mate. Because I don't like a keeper having the captaincy, and with the absence for me with Tavernier and Suter not being there, I'd begin be asking, and I never know, he might take up the responsibility a wee bit better and could up his own levels, and he'll certainly be in the referee the year of the referee, I should say, and so we should be. For all the contentious decisions that they have, McGregor's the first one, and the referee's here all the time, so I think we should be learning off of that and doing the same ourselves.
So you said, I think if he did start with the same 11 that started the game and effectively got us into the lead at half time, 2-0, playing well up to 50 minutes, I don't think there'd be many qualms about it. So you'd have to say, on the basis of the first half performance, the team selection was fine. The players were doing their job, they were doing well. Was it just simply Celtic changed in the second half? We didn't react, and the use of substitutions, or the lack of substitutions maybe, was a factor.
I think we dropped a level slightly. I think probably came out thinking we'd won the game. He did sort of change tactics slightly. Where Sterling was commanding Maeda, and then obviously moved Maeda in the middle, and then it looked like he'd a wee bit of a problem with the player that came on for them. I just think we dropped levels, and I don't think we chased the runners. And I think once you nicked a goal and gave them a bit of hope, we just couldn't get the momentum back. And then I think he tried to put Diamondi on at that time then to try and win the battle in the midfield and get a wee bit more control of the game. And get Gassama was on, obviously, for Scove Olsen, who was coming off, was to try and get him running on the wing. But I think you'll learn from it. I think maybe Bezrami could come on at some point, or could have come into the team. I like him, but he's been miles off it for weeks and weeks, and the chances of him coming in now and starting, I think, is pretty slim. I think he's going to go with the tried and twisted players that he's been using of late, and sort of subs-wise, I know. I think you can sort of tell, you'll know when you see the bench tomorrow, but if the bench is what it was last week, then you can guarantee that the Gassama's coming on, Diamondi will come on, and you maybe find one other, depending on how far the game goes. I think we do 3 or 4. Tav might even come on for Sterling later on in the game, which he never done the last time. So I think there is scope, and I think you can more or less pick what players will probably come on at certain times for others. So I think you'll go with the tried and trusted. Bezrami's there or thereabouts, but he's not been featuring much. But I get if you picked him, he could come in and do a job, and he's good at discipline-wise, and he'll do a job for you. He works for the team. But I don't see him starting, to be honest. The only one that might start, and it's just a might, would be Diamondi. I could see that happening, possibly playing the 3 in the middle of the park. But if he goes with the 2, I think it'll be Raskin and Tushy, and and Diamondi will find himself back in the bench, Robert.
It's certainly going to be interesting, mate. It will be interesting. As you say, there's a lot of positives from last week, but also a lot of improvements and learning points to take from not just Danny Rule. He said today in his press conference he takes responsibility, but it also lies with the players, mate. As we know, they cross the white line, they've got to go and do their jobs and effectively win the game, not just a half, win the whole game. And whether it comes Sunday, that's in 90 minutes, 120, or penalties, But anyway, get yourselves on mute, because it's time for Southside's big moment of the week. It's Southside's Super 6.
Welcome to Southside Super 6. And get ready for your weekend's fix. He finds it hard to get them right, 'cause most of the time they are shy.
Hi, welcome to Southside Super 6 for March the 7th. This weekend we're going for over 2.5 goals. The first selection is Bristol City and Coventry. The second selection is Ipswich and Leicester. The third selection is Plymouth and Doncaster. The fourth selection is Morton and St Johnstone. The fifth selection is Walsall and Notts County. And the sixth selection is Crawley Town and Swindon. If you take all six for over 2.5 goals, it pays 29.5 to win.
Well, you have just heard this week's picks are run out and bet like dicks. The sane amongst you will give it a miss, 'cause for years he has just been taking the piss.
Oh yeah, there you go. The Southside Super 6 has changed it up this week, mate. Are we over 2.5 goals?
Aye, something different in it. So might as well go with that.
But they always say you should never change a winning team, but if your team's not winning every week, AK, you've got to change it up.
Is that a backhanded dig there? This
It's
is
a fair comment.
anytime Southside Super 6 comes on now, I just think of Jim for Surrey. Offer. Good luck, pal.
Good luck to you, Southside. Good luck to you. We'll get you to send us them. We'll get them on the socials so the listeners out there can follow on. And Albert, you'll be listening keenly and waiting for the updates, I'm sure, as you are every week.
Oh, I can't wait, man. I just live for this moment. It's great. I've won a few, Bob, by the way, with Southside Super 6. I don't put it on.
Brilliant.
Very good. Very good.
Southside, it will
It's,
be an interesting game on Sunday, won't it, mate? Sorry, carry on, Albert. Carry on.
No. You carry on. It's gambling time. You are gamblers.
No, you go, mate. Floor's yours.
No, just getting back to the team, the Virjami carry on. He came on against Livingston Southside and had played no bad. He actually changed the game slightly when he came on. So I just think the boys get something about him. I definitely think he'll do something. And as you say, he's disciplined. He's really disciplined. You give him a role, he'll stick to it. Unlike Diamande, who's a bampot in my eyes. I mean, he can have great games. He can have terrible games, and he has crazy games. You just don't know what he's up to. Like when he came on Sunday there, I don't know what he was playing. I don't know what he was meant to be playing or what he was supposed to be doing. But he just kept running about like a maniac. But aye, it's going to be interesting. Suter should come out the team just for his performances. He's just off the boil, mate. That's all it is, isn't it? It's just simply as that. It's not that we all hate him or anything. It's just no playing well. Hello.
Albert, Rob, can I ask Albert a question and the rest of the guys in the panel?
Of course you can.
See where it started to go wrong, right? Diamande, as you say, he wasn't disciplined enough to I think Danny Rowe actually touched on it. He sent players onto the park and they didn't carry out their role. Raskin started to wander, left Chuck Wani in there, he was outnumbered. Nadiri was coming back for his forward line and pressing the midfield. There was a lot of guys that weren't playing under instruction. They need to get dealt. See if you're going out there, you're going out there to do a job. Do you think that's where it started to unravel a bit? And it's down to the players then more than the manager, is what everybody's pointing at.
I think they started coming out of position in the best intentions. They're trying to get us into the game, but they panicked a bit. And at this level, their level, You can't do it, mate. Good players will just pick you off. If you start acting like a clown, they'll just pick you off. But it was done. It's not. I don't think they done it intentionally. When I'm just not going to follow the orders or anything like that. I think they actually done it with the best intentions, but it didn't work. It didn't work. And you're right. The ones you all just mentioned there, they did all start chasing the ball. But Raskin started chasing the ball like a primary school player. No, I mean, it's just calm down. Just calm down. Think about it before you do it. You're an international. Think about it. What you're trying to do here. And as I said, Diamande, I don't know what he was doing, man. I'm not going to blame him solely or any of them solely. It was a collective because we didn't win. It wasn't just one individual. It's to blame it all on them. But Diamande just does what Diamande does. He just runs about mental. I don't understand the boy at all. He does some crazy things. It's you're right, mate. It was 2 or 3 of them started coming out of position, and before you know what it is, the gaps appear all over the place, and they were walking through you at times, and you're saying, this shouldn't be happening. This just simply shouldn't be happening. But it did. So we need to be aware of it. We need to rectify it as well. And we need to have a degree of concentration to say, no, just play with your heads. No, I mean, that's what you're wanting to do. Play with your heads, and don't get dragged into things that you shouldn't be getting dragged into. But we showed how good we can be. It's all right saying we're good for 45, 50 minutes. It's no good enough. 2-0 up, you should still win the game no matter what. You should still win the game. Well, isn't going to win anything away for that, mate. We should have won the game, and we should have got a penalty. But anyway, that's another argument, isn't it?
So you say, do you want to come in and make his question?
Can't remember what you actually asked. I don't usually pay much attention when he talks. After that nonsense today on the feed,
What a shocker.
anyone a bridge man. After that nonsense today on that group, man, I'm getting a fat day in my nut in with that pressing nonsense and that. Oh, he gets easily excited, so he does. Sorry, mate. What did you ask a question? What was it? And I'll give you an answer.
I wasn't really listening to you anyway.
That's all right. Yeah, that's quite right. That's the way it should be. That's the way it should be.
Oh, brilliant.
By the way, this is going to get a show that you're going to say to people, phone in because nobody listens to you anyway.
It's only certain panel members you can just sort of fall asleep with, and it'll bear at times, you know.
You get a good big Kalashnikov. You get a good sleep.
Sorry, mate. What did you say? I'll answer it. What did you say? Just summarise it quickly.
I think you actually answered it during the week there, Southside, about the players not doing their role in the team.
Well, it's all bare said. I think we watched it. Certain players probably did. Raskin's got a habit of doing it. Another habit Raskin's got at times is when players are pulled to the side of the park, somebody's been injured or there's a breakage in play, and a lot of players come out of the side, some get a drink of water, and the manager's talking to him, or other coaches are out talking to him. Raskin very seldom comes to the touchline. I've noticed that about Millstone in the middle of the park, you know, and doesn't come across very often to listen to what the manager's got to say. So I've noticed that about him, but listen, I don't expect Raskin to be there in the summer. I believe he'll go. Doesn't matter what type of World Cup he has. I just think he'll go. I don't see us keeping him, and I don't think we should. I think we need better than Nico Raskin. Need a more complete player. He's good at certain things, but he's not so good at others. And I think we need to try and get a complete midfielder, somebody that can go in and run the game. And can do his sort of thing, nick the ball and get about the park, but needs to have a better pass, up the goal ratio, be more dominant, can go in and run a game and dictate a game, and that's something that Raskin can do. But listen, it's all about Sunday, and we just need 11 players to turn up and do their jobs properly. There's a wee bit you can look back and the wee niggles and things that happened after the game, and you can use that as a wee bit of fuel before you get in the park, and you should make sure this time that you'll get the job done. So if the players felt like we felt coming out the stadium, then that should be enough to fire them up for Sunday, Robert.
Aye, certainly, mate. And as you say there's a lot of things kind of happened after the game as well to take into it. Not to mention, AK, I know something that you've picked up on over the week was their right back. Let's just be honest, antagonising Mikey Moore, Nico Raskin as well. I would not be surprised, mate, if somebody leaves one of him early doors. But you've got to be disciplined in this game because the referee or VAR, as Albert says, they will have their say.
Aye, of course. I think we should pinpoint him. As I say, don't put you in a position where the officials is going to make a decision on him, but let him know what his conduct was like at the end of the game last week. I mean, there's seemingly photos out there where he actually punched Mikey Moore, but nothing's come out in the papers about that. He seemingly spat on him as well to try and get a reaction out of him. And obviously with the Raskin incident, after he barges him, he then goes into his face to say, hey, you were trying to cheat there to win a penalty. Well, the boy barged him in the back. So I think he's got his cards marked. And we should just be clever about it, whatever we're going to do. Stephen Mahy was, that many years ago, hot-headed, and we played on it and we got him sent off to get a man advantage. I think there's an opportunity there. If we take it, Mikey Moore keeps running at him, picks up a couple of yellows, Juriosa, and then we go and steamroller them. But this is what the Old Firm game's all about. Discipline, and that is key, as we know. And if we have that man advantage, take advantage of it, and just let's go and win the game regardless what it is. I'd take a Bridgeman right now, as long as we're in the semi-final draw.
Bridgeman, it is a game that's full of passion, full of emotion. Adrenaline's rushing through you, but as AK said, you've got to be disciplined in your performance as well. You want meaty challenges, you want a bit of feistiness in the game, but to the letter of the law, or at least to the letter of the law that's upheld correctly, of course, but you've got to obviously play the game and not the occasion, and not let it affect you in that capacity. Bridgeman.
Yeah, like football's it's played with the heart, and I'm afraid some players wind other players up, and certainly do it on a particular basis. And I've always said, no matter where you are, if you can, and I was very poor at doing it, you hold your temper and you get pick your spot. And the best place to pick a spot to get back on someone is in the tunnel. You do it in the tunnel. It's just crazy and mayhem in the tunnel, and you lash out in the tunnel, and somebody will pull you away, and the other guy will get pulled away, and so on and so forth. And the manager of both managers will want to calm down, and I'll be shoved away. Very few times the referee will ever get involved in something like that. It's the best place to do it. I think that wee right back theirs could easily have been leathered in the tunnel, very easily. So they're a good choice. If you could do that, then fine. Unfortunately, in Old Firm games, when the full-time whistle goes, I'm afraid that all the players of both sides are normally stay on the park to sort of clap the support, and sometimes the opportunity to do things in the tunnel doesn't appear. But maybe half time's a good time as well to do it. But there's absolutely no way these players should be getting let off with that nonsense that they're right back pulled. Just no way, absolutely no way. And there should have been 11 Rangers players round that guy, 100%. 11 Rangers, every one of them, and shoving him, making sure he understands they're not going to put up with his crap. That's all you need to do. Not all you need to do, but that's what you need to do. But I thought Mikey Moore held it well. I thought he did not too bad. But I have to say that guy there, right back's not a bad player, right? But in a good pace. So you've got to be really good to get past him, and then he's going to try and get past you coming up the way. So I think they've got to be fine with that guy. But he is a nutter. He's a nutter, and somebody's going to bang him for sure.
Oh, but when a player's doing that, whether the game's finished or not, when the reaction to a youngster, take Mikey Moore, obviously being an 18-year-old boy, to pick on him, it says a lot about the person, of their character, that person, of course, but you then look at the officials and say, well, where's the protection of players as well? And that's when the officials come into question yet again, mate.
Fat cheating beating is a coward, total coward, mate. That way you're at it right back. He's a wee coward and all. You see him running about. He's flat and heavy trumpet. You get to him, by the way. He's an easy wee guy to wind up, and he's an easy wee guy to get to. They're very easy to lay one on, mate. Very easy. If you know what you're doing, very easy, mate. You can see Big Chermati, just big Chermati just ripped the piss right out of him, mate. They made him look what he is, like a clown, absolute clown for that second goal, mate. It was excellent. At the end of the day, this is the experience and you're looking for. But to take on a wee boy at 18, I mean, tells you all you want to know. You know what I mean? Tells you all you want to know about him. Try to get the wee boy sent off. Trying to get the wee boy to react. But to Mikey Moore's credit, he done well, mate. But I'd like to see him try to take on Fernandes or would you call him Big Chuck Wade. I'd like to see him try to take them on. Try and punch them, see what happens. They'll lay him out, especially Big Fernandes. Big Fernandes will lay him out, mate. Any of his nonsense. So that's what you're looking for. That's what I keep saying, shrinking violence. I don't want shrinking violence in my team. I want people to sort clowns like that out. That clown Tierney and all, pushing people. He thinks he's a wee ticket and all. We pompadour hips, you know what I mean? You just blowing him and something will snap on him. So I'm looking for people to sort these kind of players out. No bother, mate. No bother. Stone up to this nonsense and don't let them away with it. Don't let them away with nothing, mate. Brown used to be the hard man of their team. Remember him? He was another coward. Total coward, mate. Hard men, I think not. Anyway, we've not got really any big hard men in our team. I fancy Big Fernandes. I think Big Fernandes should be the captain as well, mate, to be honest with you. He's the only one that I see that will definitely not take any nonsense off of anybody. So I would make him the captain.
That's an interesting one, that, mate. It's not a name that I think a lot of people would probably bring to mind. I think obviously AK's went with Raskin if there's no suitor or no Tavernier for the armband. Buckland's had it in the past, but Fernandes is an interesting one, mate. Is it just because he's young and he's quite vocal? Is that from what you've seen?
It's definitely
Centre
vocal,
half
mate.
make good captains, by the way. Centre half make good captains.
He doesn't take any nonsense, mate, for any opposition. And he's in there. He's fearless, mate. He gets tore in. He doesn't hide. He talks away. He shouts and bawls. He gets right in. He influences games. He's a decent defender. He has mad moments, don't get me wrong, but most of the great defenders, they have mad moments. Unlike Suter, he doesn't have bad moments. Suter just has brain farts for no good reason. That's what's wrong with Suter. No? I mean, he just does crazy things when you least expect him to do it. It's just part of the
I love it, by the way. I just love it.
But what will happen is if you don't get, if you see, like say on Sunday, if you gave the captaincy to Fernandes, you're not getting it to Butland and you're not getting it to Raskin. Raskin would definitely go in a huff. Absolutely. 100% go in a huff. It's just the type of guy he is. So if you don't get to Butland, you've got to get to, if the Suter's no playing, that is, you don't get to Butland, you've got to get to Raskins. But me personally, I would get to Fernandes.
So you said it's obviously going to be an interesting atmosphere come Sunday, obviously with them getting the full broom one. What you expecting atmosphere-wise? I think it's going to be noisy, of course, from your side, but from them, it's going to be a big factor for their side. Obviously, bigger crowd. Obviously, the momentum with them from last week coming from behind, but we'll still have 80% of the stadium, mate. You've got to bring the noise.
Aye, we'll have to. And it's down to the players to keep the crowd going as well. I mean, we'll turn up, we'll start and do our best. I'm sure they're going to be able to have another good tifo possibly before it. I know they spend a lot of money and a lot of time doing it, but probably have a nice tifo again to start the proceedings off on Sunday. And then it's down to us and down to the players to make sure that we get in front again, we get the goals in the back of the net and we create the chances, and I'm sure the crowd will be I'll lap it up and it'll be loud and proud as always at Ibrox. And aye, they'll bring a bit of noise. There's obviously a lot more of them this time going to be behind that goal. And it's down to us to keep them quiet and give them nothing to shout about or cheer about. So it's down to the players and the team to do that. But aye, they will make noise when given the opportunity, that's for sure. I don't doubt that for a minute, but hopefully we'll keep them quiet for most of the 90 minutes. It's good to see the YouTube guys doing their job on YouTube, getting rid of 1 or 2 tubes on there, and that solves a problem, so well done, troops. But aye, looking forward to Sunday, and I'm looking forward to a Rangers victory. It'll be played, obviously it's played to a finish on Sunday regardless how long it's going to take, but I'd like to think that we'll get the job done and the players will get there and make sure we get the job done, Robert.
Do you see it going all the way, mate? Penalties or in the 90?
Nah, 90 minutes.
Albert?
Aye, 90 minutes, mate. I see 90 minutes. Definitely, mate. Definitely. There'll be goals, put it that way.
Bridgman?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a 90-minute job, and let's hope we're doing it. Obviously, it's tight. It's nearly always tight anyway with me when it's games. But yeah, that's what I see. I see a tight game and a 1-0 victory for the Rangers. Hoping it's 5 or 6, of course.
AK? Full house for a 90?
That would be nice, aye. I think they've no beat us at Ibrox in, 3 years now or something. But you just look at the results so far this year, nothing each at Ibrox. We beat them 3-1, 2 each at Ibrox, and then it's extra time at Hampden. So it suggests it's going to be a tight game anyway. But as I said, whether it's 90 minutes, whether it's extra time, whether it's penalties, as long as it's us, it's in the next round. Falkirk's just got through the night there, so it should be interesting. It's certainly there to be won, mate. Whoever gets through. Let's hope it's us.
Aye, certainly, of course. Listen, I think if you can get the job done in 90 minutes, then great, brilliant. If it needs to be into extra time or penalties, then that's when Southside the substitutions become vital. You're bringing players on that can influence the game. They've got time, particularly in that extra time period where one slip up it could be costly, or one advantage you take it into your hands and you go and win the game. But it is played to a finish, and I said earlier on in the show, mate, although it's a quarter final, play it as a final, leave everything on the park, come away with no regrets.
Aye, you want to make sure you're into that semi-final at Hampden. So, listen, we're only playing 1 game a week. There should be enough effort and enough energy in that team to go out and put it in for 90 minutes or the 120, whatever it's going to take. But we should have enough energy in the legs in that team to make sure that we get this job done, and probably doing it in 90 minutes is better and get it out the road. But we should be right on it for the first whistle. Like I say, if we've plenty of time to think about the game coming up and do the training, and come out the traps quick and hopefully blast them away like we did in the first half. But make sure we do the job in the second half as well, Robert.
AK, if they have to play to 120 minutes, that's something they're used to with extra time in it, added on.
Aye, but they're usually approaching the 100 minutes per game anyway. But I was going to say there, let's hope the VAR officials are remember their crayons this time instead of making imaginary lines. Let's hope we don't need them right enough. But what is that all about, man? It's just unbelievable what they're getting away with now, isn't it?
Well, I hope they remember that you've got to draw 2 lines and not just 1 as well. That's something I picked up in was it Tuesday night they played, Wednesday night? 1 line drawing for a decision when everything else up till that point's always been 2, but that's just me. Albert?
This is blatant cheating, mate. Let's call it what it is. Stop trying to explain it and wonder what they're up to. We all know what they're up to. They're in a title because they're getting a bias for the officials. It's plain as a nose in your face. They always say, they score late goals, 97 and 98 minutes. I mean, it's madness, total madness, mate. But there you go, it's happening. It's happening in front of our eyes, and they don't even really care that we all know about it and everybody's talking about it all. Not just in Scotland, all in the country. Everybody's talking about how bad they are. They don't really care. They don't care because nobody's there to challenge them, mate. Nobody wants to move these people out of their positions of authority, especially in the SFA. And it'll carry on, and it'll just keep carrying on till somebody does something about it. And who's that somebody? It's not going to be Rangers, I'll tell you that, because nobody will back Rangers up. We tried it before. We tried to get an inquiry into all this, but nobody wanted to know. Everybody's happy. Then it happens to, if Hearts don't win it, Hearts will come on. If Hearts don't win this league, they'll kick up. And they might come on board with Rangers. But we've been saying it even when we're winning. We're saying these officials are rank rotten, absolutely rank rotten. And they're corrupt. To me, they're corrupt. If they're scared to do decisions because they're getting intimidated, that means you're corrupt, because they should be highlighting us to the authorities and saying, look, I'm starting to no do my job properly because I don't want my windies panned in, I don't want all the hassle in my family. And it's still happening, mate. Again, the Peps, media, Disney pick up on it. Just like the Rami in the tunnel. It must have been their fault. If it was a Rangers player that done it and it was Rangers' fault, all that would have been all the papers. You wouldn't have shut up, mate. They've been at it all week. But you've heard nothing. So you know it's them that started it. You know they're at fault because it's all quiet, mate. Nothing's happened.
John Brown was right, Albert. Called it out.
Well, he called it out and he's right. Of course he's right, mate. What did they try to do to him? They tried to him get kicked out his job at being a pundit. They tried to do something about John Brown. Shocking, mate. Shocking what they're getting away with.
I've always said that, Bridgeman, it's VAR, the technology is not the problem. The problem is the people behind it. It's the same officials making errors on the park that make them in a wee room in Glasgow.
Well, you know how I feel about it. I can't be any more vociferous. Well, I can, but I don't want to go. I'll end up getting banned. But I think it's absolutely horrendous the way they control the control that club have got in the East End of Glasgow, and I mean serious control. And we all complain about it, but it's really bad. I mean, it's really bad. So we're saying there that they were playing. Who was it? They were playing at the weekend there. And you're thinking, are they going to win? Are they going to lose? Well, they were struggling to get any more in the game, and they get it. It was Aberdeen they were playing. They get the thing anyway. They get it, and it's like written down in a diary or something. Like, wait a minute, 86 minute, give them a penalty kick or all that nonsense. It's all there. Well, it seems that way to me. And how much injury time will we playing today? 3 minutes. Make it 9. That'll do. Make it, or as what Chris Boyd says, we'll just play to Celtic score, and we'll got all that going on. And it's embarrassing, isn't it? I mean, see, is there anybody on Rangers Radio doesn't think that's embarrassing? It's just out and out cheating, and the referee's cheating beating is cheating beating, and it's no for a wee laugh or a wee joke. It's absolutely true. It's cheating beating, and that guy's allowed to go into VAR and do the business with VAR. Sorry, we shouldn't have them. Sorry. Again, Robert, apologies, pal. I don't want to say too much more. I'm getting heated up here.
No, you're fine, mate. It's a debate that rumbles on every single week, and it certainly isn't going to end. Let's be fair. But one thing, unfortunately, is coming to an end is tonight's show. Southside, last word from yourself, mate. Southside, last word.
Aye, looking forward to Sunday, mate. We need to get into this semi-final at Hampden. Falkirk's already made it. They've put Dundee United out tonight, so it's time for us to go and join them in the semi-final, and we'll see what other teams make it. So hopefully Ibrox will be loud and proud on Sunday for the 90 minutes and beyond if it has to go that way. Looking forward to it, but as always, there's only one team and one crown.
Cheers, mate. Cheers for joining us, and good luck with your Super 6 this week. I hope it comes in, and I truly mean that. Albert, last word from yourself, mate.
Aye, good to go on yourself, Southside, Big Alec, and Bridgeman, boxing Old School Blue. It was very interesting, mate, very interesting. All I hope for, mate, is the officials do their job and do it right, mate. No bias, just do it right. Just be honest and truthful. Try and do that for a change. Let's break the mould. Let's try and do that for a change. Anyway, a victory for Rangers, a wee 2-0 victory for Rangers will do me nicely.
Here's hoping, mate. Cheers for joining us. Always a pleasure. AK.
Yeah,
Aye, good show the night again, Rob. Thanks to yourself. Southside for joining us, Bridge, Albert, and the boys in the background. Hope everybody else enjoyed it. Cup draw, Falkirk done United. Falkirk's already won. Partick Thistle, St Mirren, home win for me. Dunfermline, Aberdeen, home win. Rangers, Celtic, home win. So I think that'll be the last four. But it was good to get a wee insight into Albert's heat tonight. Took up the scalp, taken off his head, and you get a monkey playing cymbals in there. Brilliant.
I'm like a raging bull. Just
That's shocker. That's shocker.
Cheers, AK. Bridgeman, final word from yourself, mate.
What can I say? That's a shocker for AK there, isn't it? Absolute shocker. What can I just say, Robert? Fantastic night. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And all the guys, contributors, Albert, AK, excuse me, and yourself, Robert. It's just fantastic to be on this wee radio station. I just love it. What can I say about the football? Well, biggest game of the season by a mile and many miles coming up. Scottish Cup game. And there used to be, everybody looked forward to a Scottish Cup tie, that's for sure, particularly against them. So we've got all to do. Got to repeat, rinse and repeat, and so on and so forth. But what can I say about the Rangers? It's my team, it's our team. Everybody must do it. We've got to keep them going. We've got to go up. But everybody, please, all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world, this is our team. Huge game Sunday. Everybody keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers really need us. So do they.
Cheers, Bridge. It was a pleasure, mate. Listen, can I just thank Southside for joining us tonight, and of course, AK, Bridge, and Albert for joining myself doing the show. Fox and Old School Blue in the background for doing the technicals, and everybody that listened in on YouTube, Facebook, and any other platforms out there. This has been Rangers Radio. Myself and AK will be back with you on Sunday at 12 PM as we build up to the quarter-final at Ibrox, Rangers versus them. Enjoy your weekend. Take it away, Old School Blue.